I come to the thrift store on my lunch break because it is quiet and cheap and predictable. I tell myself I am only here for a black blazer. Something neutral. Something that makes me look like I have control. The bell above the door gives this thin little ring, and the familiar smell hits me. Dust and detergent and old perfume. The cashier is a young guy with headphones around his neck, scrolling on his phone. He does not look up when I walk in. I head straight to the racks where office clothes gather like tired birds. My hand moves over hangers, plastic clacking against plastic. I find a blazer that looks almost new, the kind that must have been donated after a bad interview or a breakup. I hold it up to my shoulders. It is close enough to tempt me. I take it and a few other things because it makes the trip feel justified. A button-down shirt, a plain skirt, a sweater that looks soft but smells like someone else. The fitting rooms are at the back, past a wall of mismatched lamps. A narrow hallway leads to 3 stalls with curtains. The overhead lights buzz in a way that makes my eyes feel tired. I choose the middle stall because I always choose the middle. The safety. I pull the curtain closed. The metal ring clicks, and the fabric falls into place. The mirror is mounted on the wall across from the small bench. It is a full-length mirror with a cheap white frame. I face it and start to shrug off my coat. I lift my hands to my collar and the reflection does not. For a fraction of a second, the person in the mirror stands there with her hands down, staring at me like she is waiting for instructions. Then, like a delayed video call catching up, she raises her hands and touches her collar in the same motion I already did. My skin goes tight. I freeze with my coat half off. The reflection freezes too, but not at the same instant. It stops a beat late, as if it has to receive the command. I blink hard. I shift my weight. The reflection follows late. My heart starts to thud in my throat. I tell myself it is the lighting or some weird glass distortion or my eyes. I have been staring at a computer screen all morning. I have not had enough water. I test it again because that is what my brain does when it wants to turn fear into a problem it can solve. I raise my right hand. My reflection waits. Then it lifts its right hand. The delay is not huge, maybe half a second, maybe less, but it is unmistakable. It feels like a hand hovering above a surface that should be solid. I lean closer to the mirror. My breath fogs the glass. The reflection leans closer a moment after I do, and the fog blooms later, like it is trying to remember where my mouth is. I step back fast and my stomach flips. The reflection steps back late. I look over my shoulder at the curtain, expecting someone to be messing with me, like there is a camera or a prank. I listen for laughter. I hear only the fluorescent buzz and a distant clatter of hangers. My palms sweat. I set the blazer on the bench and reach into my bag for my phone. The reflection reaches into her bag after me. I unlock my screen and open the camera. I point it at the mirror. On my phone screen, everything looks normal. There is me. There is the mirror. There is my reflection. But even through the phone, the reflection still lags. I can see the lag twice, once with my eyes and once through the tiny screen, like proof. I swallow. The sound is loud in the stall. My reflection swallows late. The curtain rustles outside. Someone walks past the hallway. I hold my breath. Nothing happens. I force myself to move. I am not going to stand here in a thrift store fitting room spiraling over a mirror. I take off my coat completely and hang it on a hook. The reflection lingers with the coat half on for that half second and then catches up. I slide the blazer on. The sleeves are slightly tight at the forearm. I smooth the lapels and look at myself. The reflection smooths its lapels after I do. It is ridiculous, but the delay makes me feel like I am being observed by something that is not me, something that has to imitate me in order to pass. My eyes drift down to the corner of the mirror frame. A folded piece of paper is tucked there, pressed between the frame and the glass, like someone slid it in on purpose. The paper is cream-colored and thick, like stationery. I did not notice it when I stepped in. I reach toward it. The reflection reaches too, late. I pull the paper free and unfold it. My hands shake enough that the paper crackles loudly. The note is handwritten in neat, careful print. It reads, "For you." Under that, it reads my name, my full name, first, middle, last. My mouth goes dry. There is no signature, no explanation, just a second line in smaller letters. Do not mention the delay. I stare at the words until they blur. My reflection stares too, late, and when it catches up, its eyes seem a fraction too steady, like it is holding itself still. I feel the urge to laugh, and I hate that urge because it is how my body tries to shake off fear. I press my lips together. Do not mention the delay. My throat tightens. I whisper anyway, barely a breath. What delay? The words are so small that they almost do not exist. They are not even a full sentence. I do not think anyone outside the curtain could hear. By the moment the sound leaves me, the overhead light flickers. Not once. Not a normal flicker. It goes out. The fitting room drops into dim emergency lighting from the hallway, a gray wash that turns my face into a flat mask. The buzzing stops, and the sudden silence makes my ears ring. In the mirror, the reflection does not go dark with me. It stays lit for a beat longer, as if the power outage has not reached it yet. The reflection stands in bright fluorescent light while I stand in shadow. Then the reflection turns its head. It turns before I do. My stomach falls through itself. I do not move. My body locks. The reflection looks toward the curtain, listening, and then its eyes slide back to the note in my hand. My hand tightens on the paper until it creases. The reflection lifts its own hand, and a moment later, I realize it is not holding a note. It is holding something else. A thin strip of paper, like a receipt. It raises the strip to the mirror, and words appear on the glass, faint at first, like breath, writing. I watch the letters form as if an invisible finger is tracing them from the inside. Ugh, I do not understand what I am seeing. The word hangs there, pale and wet. then more letters gather. Rule 1. My pulse hammers. I step back and the bench bumps my calves. The reflection steps back late, still calm, and the words on the glass deepen, turning darker as if ink seeps through. Rule 1. Do not mention the delay. My eyes flick to the note. Do not mention the delay. I look back at the mirror. The words are there, now crisp, as if they have always been etched into the glass and I simply failed to notice. Something in my chest squeezes. I did mention it. I think I did. The mirror lags, but the rule does not. A soft sound comes from above me, a gentle tick, like a ceiling tile settling. I tilt my head up. The reflection tilts up late, and while it does, the words on the mirror change, the last line sliding into something else. Rule 1. Do not mention the delay. Penalty for notice. The emergency light from the hallway dims further, like the building is sinking into a brownout. The air in the stall feels thicker, warmer. My skin prickles. I hold my breath and stare at the words. Penalty for notice. I did not say I noticed. I did not say that word, but I looked. I read. I am reading right now. My eyes snap away from the mirror to the curtain, as if I can escape by refusing to see. My hands clutch the blazer lapels. The curtain is still. I hear the cashier laugh somewhere out in the store, a normal sound, like a video playing on his phone. The normality of it makes me feel trapped. If something is wrong back here, nobody else knows. I lower my gaze to the note again, desperate for instructions. There is more writing on the back. I flip it. If you received this, it already started. Do not read rules out loud. Do not ask staff. Do not look for cameras. If the mirror moves first, keep your eyes closed. My lungs lock. I read the last line twice before I can stop myself. If the mirror moves first, keep your eyes closed. As soon as I finish reading, the mirror reflection raises its hand. It raises it before I do. My body goes cold. The note trembles in my grip. Keep your eyes closed. I squeeze my eyes shut so hard my eyelids hurt. In the darkness behind my lids, I still sense movement. I hear fabric whisper, like sleeves sliding. I hear the soft squeak of shoes on the fitting room floor. But I am not moving. I am standing still. The sound is inside the stall. A breath touches my face, warm and close, like someone leaning inches from me. I clamp my mouth shut. The note crinkles as my fingers tighten. I want to open my eyes. Every instinct screams to see what is in front of me. I force myself not to. A whisper comes, not quite sound, more like the feeling of words pressed into the air. You noticed. My throat spasms. I do not answer. The whisper shifts. Say nothing. The note in my hand suddenly slides, tugged gently as if someone is trying to take it from my fingers. I grip harder. The tug becomes a pull. My arm jerks forward. I stumble, my knee hitting the bench, pain flashing bright. I gasp before I can stop it. The pulling stops. The air cools. Silence. I keep my eyes shut until my temples ache. When I finally dare to open them, the stall is dim but stable. The mirror shows me again, and the reflection is still. It stands in the same pose I am in, hunched slightly, one hand clutching the note, the other braced on the bench. But it is not delayed now. It is perfectly synchronized. That should be a relief. Instead, it feels like something has gotten closer. The words on the mirror are gone. The glass looks normal, smudged with fingerprints and my breath. I look down at the note. A new line has appeared at the bottom, in ink so dark it looks sweat. Rule 2. Do not test the mirror. My stomach twists because I already did. I raise my hand. I use my phone. I lean in. I look up slowly, carefully. The mirror lags again. The delay is longer now. A full second. I lift my hand just a few inches. Not even a test. Just a nervous motion. The reflection does not follow right away. It watches. Then it smiles. I do not. The smile is small, polite, like a cashier smile. Like someone practicing being harmless. Then, after the smile, it lifts its hand to match mine, late, as if remembering its job. My vision narrows. I feel like I am going to throw up. The curtain outside shifts again. Footsteps stop right outside my stall. A woman speaks, muffled through fabric. Everything okay in there? My mouth opens on instinct, ready to say yes, ready to call for help, ready to say something normal. Do not ask staff. Do not read rules out loud. Do not mention the delay. My tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. I force out a small sound, not words, just a throat noise that could be agreement. The woman hesitates. Okay. Her footsteps move away. The normal world keeps going. The store keeps breathing. Somewhere, a hanger slides. Somewhere, a register drawer opens and closes. Inside my stall, the air feels staged, like a set built to look ordinary. I stare at my reflection. The delay makes it feel like I am watching someone else wear my face. I think about leaving. I think about yanking the curtain open and walking out with my own clothes in my arms, abandoning the blazer, abandoning the note. But the note is addressed to me. It already started. I glance at the mirror frame where the note was tucked. There is a faint indentation, like the paper has been pressed there for a long time. My phone buzzes in my hand. I realize I am still holding it. The screen lights up with a notification. No service. That makes no sense. I have service here every time. I tap the screen. The time reads 12:17. My lunch break ends at 12:30. A new message appears, but it is not from a contact. It is not even a number. It is blank, like the center field is empty. The message preview shows one line. Stop looking. My blood turns to ice. I did not give anyone my number. The mirror reflection tilts its head, late, studying my phone. The delay stretches, then snaps, like the mirror is struggling to keep up. The glass behind my reflection darkens slightly, as if the stall behind it is deeper than it should be. I lower the phone. The message disappears. I look at the note again. The ink is still wet enough to shine. Rule 2. Do not test the mirror. Penalty for notice. I do not see that last phrase on the note, but I feel it hovering in my mind like a bruise. The reflection lifts its hand again. Before I move, I shut my eyes instantly. In the dark, I hear hear the curtain rings tick as if the curtain is being touched from the inside. My own breath sounds wrong, too loud, too close to my ear. Then I feel fingers, not on my skin, but on the blazer sleeve, pinching the fabric near my elbow. A gentle tug, like someone checking the fit. A voice, quiet and intimate, like my own thoughts, slides into the space between breaths. You can leave when you stop noticing. My stomach knots. How do I stop noticing? How do I not notice a rule that punishes noticing? The fingers pinch again, firmer, pulling my arm slightly toward the mirror. I keep my eyes shut. I keep my mouth shut. Tears gather anyway, hot and humiliating. The tug becomes a steady draw, like the mirror is reeling me in by the sleeve. My shoes scrape on the fitting room floor. I try to plant my feet, but the pull is patient, unstoppable. I can feel the mirror in front of me without seeing it, cold and waiting. The note crumbles in my fist as I am pulled forward. Somewhere outside, the cashier laughs again, louder this time, and the sound feels like it comes from far away, like the store is already behind glass. The tug sharpens. My shoulder bumps something hard. The mirror frame. My closed eyelids flutter with panic. My face is inches from the glass. I can feel the chill radiating from it, like a freezer door. The voice returns, softer. Do not open your eyes. The fingers slide up my sleeve, higher toward my wrist, like they want my hand, like they want the note. My grip tightens until my knuckles ache. The pull stops. For a moment, everything is still. Then, right against the glass, I hear a faint sound, like someone on the other side breathing on the mirror. A slow exhale, and another. My own breath stutters. The exhale on the other side does not match me. It is not delayed. It is early. I feel it before I breathe it. The curtain rings tick again, and this time the sound is directly above my head, as if the curtain is being drawn open. I keep my eyes shut, but light spills across my eyelids anyway, brighter, whiter, like the fitting room fluorescent has come back too strong. I hear a voice from the hallway, the woman again, closer. Mon, your curtain is open. My mouth opens on a reflexive apology, a normal human response, and I realize with a sick clarity that if I speak, I will mention something. I will name something. I will notice. The fingers on my wrist tighten. The mirror is cold against my forehead. I stand in the open stall with my eyes squeezed shut, holding a note that knows my name, while someone outside waits for me to answer. The voice in my head whispers one last line, and it feels like a rule being written in real time. Rule 3. I do not hear the rest because the glass under my forehead suddenly gives, not shattering, but softening, like skin warming under a palm. My forehead sinks in a fraction of an inch. The fingers pull, and I have to choose between opening my eyes or letting the mirror take me by feel alone.